jury comes in, let's just tell you briefly that maybe a couple of reasons why the jury decided not to talk to the attorneys of the news media, certainly to the news media, because the jury will be coming in now. We just remind you again that in the last day or so, they have 2 men, 9 African Americans, 2 whites, and 1 Latino, made this decision in what was regarded by virtually all of the legal analysts who have been...
Again, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you, you have the envelope with the sealed verdict forms, please? All right, would you give those to Deputy Trevor?
I count the money, and I have a difference of 1, so I have to reconcile it. So I'll give it to her.
All right, Madam Foreperson, you've had the opportunity to review the verdict forms. Are they the same forms that you signed, and are they in order? All right, would you hand those please to Deputy Trevor? And you have signed and dated those verdict forms indicating the jury's verdict? All right, thank you.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. In the matter of the people of the state of California versus Ronald James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Ronald James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder. Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Ronald James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Ronald James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Ronald James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least 1 crime of murder of the first degree and 1 or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Signed this 2nd day of October 1995, Jury 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
All right, counsel, Mr. Simpson, would you be seated, please? Just have it quiet in the courtroom, please. All right, Mrs. Robertson, would you please poll the jurors?
Number 1, as to count 1, is this your verdict?
Did you waive reading of the verdict as recorded? Ms. Clark. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to at this time take this opportunity to publicly thank you for the service that you've given to us. The burdens that we place upon you were enormous, and I, of course, can't begin to express the debt that we owe to you for the time and patience and exertion that you've given to us during the course of this case. I will have an opportunity to meet with you.
Tell me first, what is your name?
Lisa Mendelson.
Lisa Mendelson?
Right.
You're from Miami?
Yes, I live in downtown Miami.
Spell for me your last name.
M as in Michael, E-N-D-E-L-S-O-N.
Lisa, L-I-S-A.
L-I-S-A, correct.
What did you think of the verdict?
I think that the prosecution didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was guilty. So I think the verdict was accurate with the evidence in place.
It was in line with what you would have done.
Yeah, I think the prosecution didn't prove their case.
Who do you think was the most effective lawyer, and who do you think was the most ineffective, if you could stack them up in that way? I mean, based on, I'm sure you watched a lot of it.
I think probably one of the most effective lawyers was probably Johnnie Cochran, and how he put the case together. And I think Marcia Clark did a great job. I just think the evidence wasn't there, and she didn't have the evidence to prove her case.
Alicia Lund, L-U-N-D.
And again, L-I-S-A.
A-L-I-C-I-A.
I didn't hear your first name.
Alicia.
Alicia Lund.
Mm-hmm. Lund, right.
What do you think of the verdict?
I didn't know what to expect. I've been listening to, since they knew that the verdict was in, I would hear the experts on TV through interviews, and it was pretty much a split down the middle, and I just didn't know what to expect.
Well, what was your reaction when you heard it? Your own reaction?
I was surprised. I was surprised. Not that I thought he was guilty either, but there was not enough to really say that it was beyond a reasonable doubt, but there were so many other factors that I thought it could have been an even split either way.
Now, what about the jury taking so little time? Did that bother you in any way? Did that surprise you?
They had so much time to really digest all of the evidence as it was happening over so many months that I would imagine when they did their straw poll at the beginning that they're pretty close to being unanimous.
And you don't want to say which was a favorite lawyer in terms of handout?
I think Marcia Clark was wonderful, even though she was not on the winning end at the end of everything, but I think she was phenomenal.
And the defense, what did you think of their actions in the court?
They always had an answer for everything, an explanation.
Bernardo Benes, B-E-N-E-S.
And how's Alex?
Alex is doing fine.
Good. I was wondering if we could get this gentleman out of the shot, just because I'd like to talk to him. Mr. Benes, what did you think when you heard the verdict?
I wasn't surprised. I think that I was a lawyer in Cuba, and I predicted this outcome. I think this had very little to do with the defense or the prosecution. I think O.J. Simpson was the beneficiary of discrimination of the Los Angeles Police Department. Probably if it would have been a white person, the outcome would have been different. By the way, every Tuesday...
What about the jury taking so little time to deliberate? Does that bother you?
No. I would have made the decision 1 minute after receiving the package. I think that some of the police really acted in a most obscene manner on discrimination. And, you know, if we apply our principles of justice, this was the outcome.
And what did you think of the lawyers in the case?
I think Cochran did a fantastic job. I think the decision of he being the star lawyer, being black, was a great decision by the defense team. And obviously, O.J., he could afford to have that kind of lawyers. You know, the lawyers presented were few, but the others who were not presented, who were advisors, were the best lawyers in America.
Now, what do you think will be the ultimate outcome of this case, and how will history look back at this?
I think that Americans should learn that discrimination should not be part of American sin. And I don't know how many people are going to take my view, but I think the discrimination against blacks was beneficial to a black, which is ironic, but that's how I look at it. They tried so hard that they spoiled the evidence, and that's why the jury was so fast in making a decision.
Tell me your name one more time.
Larry Aberman, A-B-E-R-M-A-N. From the day one, I have felt the man is guilty. From the fact that he didn't defend himself when they took him to jail. If it had been me, man, they'd have had to tie me up and bind me, and I would have been screaming so loud all the way through. And that's the one thing that made me feel he was guilty, regardless of the blood. And the man didn't really say, "What are you kidding? I didn't do this," and scream and holler. That's why I felt he was guilty. Did I think he was going to be acquitted? Positively. I thought he was going to be not guilty, just as it turned out. It's not because I had any feeling other than that. I felt the man is guilty. I still feel that he committed the murders. I think probably a good number of people throughout the world feel as I do. I mean, you know, to take a poll is ridiculous. He's out, he's free. Our system did that for him, and so be it. They both were wonderful. This was an incredible job they both did. You can't say he was better than she or she was better than he. The fact is that the defense attorneys planted doubts. And you cannot convict a man of murder one without any unreasonable doubt being eliminated.
last question to you. The jury only delivered only a couple of hours. What do you think about that?
I think they had preconceived. No, a year. I mean, if you're there and you're sequestered, aren't you going to listen to every word? Aren't you going to go to bed at night, wherever they are? You know what? They aren't proving the case to me. This man is not guilty. I mean, this has got to be on their mind from whenever. It's not a question of making a decision in 3 hours. This decision had a tremendous amount of forethought. These people knew exactly where they were going when he said, go in and give us a verdict. That's how I feel.